Namaste, Adab, Sat Sri Akal. This is CS Sankalp Kanstia, and we are here back with episode number 7. So today, two questions on target costing, chapter number 4. I am soon going to give you a PDF wherein all of these lectures will be at your fingertips. Very soon, it's coming your way. So, tum bhi akele, hum bhi akele, maza aa raha hai. Kasam se, I am really enjoying recording these sessions, interacting with you through your comments, through your WhatsApps. A lot of students are messaging me regarding the benefit that they are achieving from these sessions, and seriously, it is my pleasure to be taking these. Do drop me your suggestions or your points as well as to how things are going, and I'll be happy to connect with you. For now, we are going to speak of these two questions. Very interesting question. One of them is a past paper question. Question number 23 is a past paper question of November 2018. So I'm sure you are going to enjoy it. Keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting. Lots of love. Always keep smiling. Thank you so much. And please do not leave all of these questions for the end. Keep on watching it. During the time you want to go to sleep, watch it. So, suppose कुछ खाना खा रहे हो, देख लो लेक्चर को. कहीं पे भी बाहर घूमने को गए हो, ट्रैवल कर रहे हो, लेक्चर्स देख लो. लोड तो लेना नहीं है अपने को, सब चीज अवेलेबल ही है, रेडी अपने पास. सोने को जा रहे हो, लेक्चर देख लो. एनी टाइम, वॉच इट आउट. Okay, so two sums on target costing. So chapter number 4 से related है. So what I am doing now is picking up chapters and उनसे जो related sums है is what we are going to do. So last lecture we solved two questions on balance scorecard. So the chapter was performance measurement and evaluation. Picked up one concept, balance scorecard, and two sums of balance scorecard, so that in a flow we are able to manage it. Same way here, chapter number 4, cost management techniques, concept, target costing, and two sums is now what we are going to start. So here we are with a question 23 of your, you can say, case study digest, or in your book you can check out for your numbers. Chalo, so we will start. The name of the question is NEC Limited. Similar question was asked in ICAI examination as well. So if you have optimized 5.0, then you can check out here November 18 ICAI question number 2. So in November 2018, this question was asked. It was question number 2, right? So let's solve it. Now in your main book, which is optimized 5, I have solved it using three alternatives. See, you can see here, alternative 1 is there, alternative 2 is there, alternative 3 is there. Three alternatives, three assumptions are possible, and that's how we've solved it. But in this case study digest, ICAI has just used alternative 1, and that's how they've solved it. No problem. We will, as of now, follow ICAI and solve it accordingly. But suppose if you feel, no, sir, I agree, there can be various other alternatives also, which I have already done here. So you can refer this also if you want. Page 4.112 in your optimized is what you can see. And for others, here we are. Okay, chalo. So let's get started, guys, with this. NEC Limited forms a committee consisting of its production, marketing, and finance directors to prepare a budget for the next year. So NEC Limited has formed a committee so that a proper budget can be prepared. The committee submits a draft budget as detailed below. Okay, please present your budget. So see, now this is what actually happens. Even in multinational companies, a proper budget is prepared, and then based on that budget, things are worked out. So here the major committee holders, head of committees, your marketing committee, your production committee, your finance department, all of them have assembled together. They will make a proper budgeted profit statement, present it to the CEO of the company, the chairman and managing director, and that chairman and managing director will present it to the stakeholders. See, in each case, this seems to be a listed public company limited. All right. So this is how the process actually works. So let's have a look at what exactly is their budget. They say they will keep a selling price of 50. So sales department would have been involved here. Direct material cost per unit 9. Direct labor cost per unit 9. Variable overhead per unit 3 hours at the rate rupees 2, which is 6. Now there is always a hidden adjustment here which at times students are not aware of. But if you have watched my revision videos of standard costing, I have reiterated this and I am again telling you once more, make a note of it. Always remember, the hours taken by variable overheads or labor are always same. Hours taken per unit or in totality is always same. You can check out any question that you have done so far in your costing career. I bet you they will always be same, because the variable overheads are going to be incurred when the laborer is going to work. So here very smartly they have given that in order to make 1 unit, variable overheads will take 3 hours. Therefore it is implied that my labor will also take, tell, always 3 hours. Now if my labor is taking 3 hours per unit, and if my labor cost per unit is 9, then in that case, can I say it will be at the rate rupees 3 per hour. It will be at the rate rupees 3 per hour. Hey, subject, are you clear, everybody? Cool, looks good. Yes, okay, please mark this line as very important, as you may have to take the note of this in so many questions from now on which you would be unaware of. This you can refer to your inter questions also if you want. Any question that you have solved so far will always have variable overheads hours per unit or in totality, or labor hours in per unit or in totality, always same. Either you would have seen it and ignored it as a coincidence, or you wouldn't even know it, or if you were aware of it, bingo, well done. Chalo, let's moving on now. So this is one big hidden adjustment which we have uncovered. Are you understanding, guys? This is such a big hidden adjustment. Otherwise, you would go round and round thinking of, okay, what would be the hours for labor? Maybe they would have given ahead in the question. Let's see. But still, if you are aware of it right away, then things become much more easier and manageable. Gotcha? What did you gotcha? Tell me, what did you gotcha? Hours taken per unit or in totality will always be same. Okay, gotcha, everybody. Continuing. Contribution per unit 26. Budgeted sales quantity 25,000. So they are planning to sell 25,000 units. Budgeted contribution 25,000 into 6 but 26, but obvious 6,50,000 less budgeted fixed cost 5 lakh. We will get budgeted profit rupees 1,50,000. Samjhigudu? Okay. The management is not happy. The management is not happy with the budgeted profit of So the CEO of the company is not happy with the budgeted profit, as it is almost equal to the previous year's profit. Obviously, we want an increase in profit, no? What face I will show to the shareholders? They will say, last year also you showed the same profit. Now also you are showing the same profit. Where is the growth? We want growth. That's the reason we have invested in your company. Okay, okay, no problem. Calm down, sir. Calm down. Okay. Yeah. So, okay, the management is not happy with the budgeted profit as it is almost equal to the previous year's profit. Therefore, it asks the committee to prepare a budget to earn at least a profit of rupees 3 lakh. So, see, the current profit is how much? 1,50,000. CEO of the company wants that I want a profit of 3 lakh, come what may. Sir, but the numbers will not fall from above. We will have to take some efforts for the same. Probably maybe decrease some selling price so that our overall quantity sold can increase, or maybe reduce the cost of few things. Do whatever you want to do. Do whatever you want to do. I have told you that this is my profit that I want, and you better ensure that you give me that profit. I hope I am clear. Yes, Brigadier. Okay. Okay, so for that, now what are the following suggestions that we will have to take? Increase the unit selling price to rupees 55. So what is the current selling price? It is 50. Increase it to 55. The sales volume should be increased by 5,000 units. Aha. To attain the above said increase in sales, see, now you are increasing the selling price using the law of demand. If you would have decreased the selling price, automatically the sales quantity would have increased, but that is not the case. So what we have done is we have increased the selling price. We want the increased sale units. So now at least something else will have to be done. What is to be done? To attain the above said increase in sales, company should spend rupees 40,000 for advertising. Aha. The production time per unit should be reduced. Okay, so this is an interesting fact. The production time per unit should be reduced. To win the acceptance of the workers in this regards, the hourly rate should be increased by rupees 3 besides an annual group bonus of rupees 30,000. Oh ho ho ho. Oh ho ho ho. Oh ho ho. So here you are saying one thing, the production time per unit should be reduced. So in short, can I say we want the efficiency of the laborer to be better? So indirectly they are saying increase the efficiency of laborer, increase the efficiency of laborer. Correct? Can I say yes? Yes, sir. Okay, to win the acceptance of the workers in this regards, the hourly rate should be increased by rupees 3 besides an annual group bonus of rupees 30,000. Okay, now see, if you want the workers to be motivated, you will have to give them some motivation in monetary terms. So we are giving them motivation in terms of monetary benefit, that rupees 3 per hour bonus you will get. Wow, sir, we will work very fast. Correct? That will be the obvious reaction. Plus, you will get a bonus of 30,000. Sir, we will work very fast and we will get the best quality, sir. Don't worry, sir. Okay, sir. There is no chance. There is no change in the amount and rates of other expenses. Fair enough. So, be it your direct material or variable overheads or anything, everything else remains same. The company has sufficient production capacity, as the implementation of above proposal needs the acceptance of the workforce to increase the speed of work and reduce the production time per unit. The board wants to know the extent of reduction in per unit production time. Just imagine. So here they are planning to increase the profitability from 1,50,000 to 3 lakh, and for that here we can very clearly see that they are going to use the base of labor hours. Now if we had not solved this puzzle at the start of the question, then first thing that we would have been confused was what are the laborer hours taking for now per unit. But now we know that variable overheads, the hours given is for the labor hours also. So indirectly, ICAI has tried to oversmart you by giving you labor hours, but not directly in the form of variable overheads. But they don't know, we know the concept that variable overheads hours that are being taken is going to be same for labor hours as well. So labor hours currently are being used is 3 hours at the rate 3 per hour. Now we need to reduce the time taken in order to make 1 unit by the laborers in such a way that my end profit of rupees 3 lakh is achieved. Samjigadu, what a fantastic question. I say I take a bow. Now, what you have to do is read the question once, giving you all 2 minutes. Your time starts now. Okay. Chalo, are we done? So now we have to answer few required part. First is obvious. We want a profit of 3 lakh rupees. What is the time duration that will have to be reduced in order to reach there? That's an obvious question. So calculate the target production time per unit and the time to be reduced per unit. Are we understanding? Cool. So let's start, guys, without wasting much time. So we know that here, we know that, see, let's make a statement wherein we come to know that how much exactly can we spend for the laborers. I'll give you an idea. We know the sales, we know the direct material cost, we know the profit that we need to earn, we know the fixed costs that we are going to incur. The only thing we don't know is that what is the hours that my laborer is going to put in order to make that unit. And because we don't know the labor hours, we don't know the direct labor cost, nor do we know the variable overheads cost. So let that be my balancing figure. Let that be my balancing figure. I'll show you. So, sir, little confusion. I'll show you. Don't worry. See, we know the sales. Okay, what is the sales, sir? What is the sales? You tell me. You know the sales. What is the sales? Is there a change in sales? Yes. Selling price per unit is changing and sales volume is also changing. Okay, no problem. But we know, no, at least. So, what is the sales? Sales is nothing but selling price per unit into sales quantity. Acha, okay. What is the selling price per unit? Tell me. Can I say it is 55? What is the selling price per unit? Okay, sorry. What is the selling price per unit raised to 55? Sales volume increased by 5,000 units. So 25,000 to 30,000. Correct? Okay. So selling price per unit into 30,000 units. Correct? Okay. Now let's do the calculations. 30,000 into 55. So 16 lakh 50,000. How much? 16 lakh 50,000. Can I say this is my sales? Okay. Okay. What is your direct material cost? What is your direct material cost? So no change in direct material cost. So tell me how much. So sir, it is per unit is 9. Per unit is 9. So we will say the number of units now has increased to 30,000. So 9 per unit into 30,000 units works out to 2,70,000. Yeah, works out to 2,70,000. Yeah. Okay. Then what else do you have? Acha, direct labor cost we know 3 hours at the rate 3 per hour, which is 9, but we cannot use that because that 3 hours per unit that we are going to take is changing, but how much it is changing we don't know. So can I say labor cost balancing figure, sir? Okay. Variable overheads also, sir, 6 per unit, but wait, that 6 is based on 3 hours at the rate rupees 2, but this 3 hours is also now going to change, so variable overheads will also become a balancing figure. Correct? Okay. See, now what we usually do? What we usually do, sales minus cost is equal to net profit. Suppose this is 100, this is 40, net profit is 60. Huh? Correct? Now suppose if in the question sales is given to you, net profit is given to you, will you be able to calculate the cost? Yes, sir. So easy. Remove the net profit from the sales. What we are left with is the total cost. Okay. So this is what we will do here also. This is what we will do from the sales. Remove the net profit. Whatever balancing remains will be for our total cost. So let's do it that way. Let's do it that way. So we will say sales less net profit expected. Can I say that is clearly given in the question as 3 lakh? Very clearly given in the question as 3 lakh. So can I say total cost allowed? Total cost allowed is how much? Sir, 13 lakh 50,000. Of that, can I say direct material cost is known? Can I say that is 9 per unit multiply by 30,000 units, it is equal to 2,70,000. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Okay, less. Can I say any other cost is known? Sir, we cannot write down labor and variable. Okay, because ours are not known. But at least we know the budgeted fixed cost 5 lakh. And for that, they are saying more 40,000 will have to be incurred. So can I say fixed cost is how much? Fixed cost is how much? 5 lakh plus 40,000. 5 lakh plus 40,000, which is equal to 5 lakh 40,000. Samjhigadu? Okay, okay. Then what else? What else? Group bonus. At least we know that group bonus has to be paid 30,000. So less group bonus. That is a whatever is our absolute amount. At least that so we can say no. So group bonus is their absolute amount. So 30,000 is there. Anything else? Sir, everything else is taken care of. Now whatever remains is for labor and variable overhead. So just a moment. So three. So once we reduce all of this, we will get total cost available for labor and variable overhead. Hey, Samjigudu, how much? Sir, rupees 5,10,000. So if we are able to restrict our labor and variable overhead to rupees 5,10,000, then in that case we will say Jagas, we have got, then in that case we will case Jagas, we have got our expected profit of 3 lakh as required by the management. Are you understanding, guys? Nice question. Correct? Have you written it? You want to write it? Giving you all 2 minutes. Start. Chal, now I'll show you a simple logic. I'll show you a simple logic. Okay, just pay attention. Suppose you have to make a particular product. Suppose you have to make a particular product. So this is just an example that I'm sharing with you. A small example to connect to what I am coming to. Suppose you have to make one product, and in order to make one product you are taking 3 hours. In order to make one product you are taking 3 hours and paying rupees 2 per hour. Correct? So in order to make one product you are taking 3 hours at the rate rupees 2 per hour. So can I say, in short, you are paying rupees 6 per hour. You are paying rupees 6 per unit. You are paying rupees 6 per unit. Hey, samjhugudu? Yes, sir. Now suppose if 30,000 units you are going to make 30,000 units you are going to make. What is the total cost that you will incur? What is the total cost that you will incur? Sir, simple. Sir, 3 hours per unit into rupees 2 per hour into how many units are total? 30,000 units. Correct? So this is rupees 6 per unit into 30,000. So equal to total cost will be rupees 1,80,000. How much? 1,80,000. How did you do that? Can I say, what did you do? You did 3 hours into 2 per hour for 1 unit into how many total units? 30,000 units equal to total cost of rupees 1,80,000. Samjhugudu. Now if in this equation suppose one figure is missing. Suppose you know that 1,80,000 is there, you know 30,000 is there, 2 rupees 2 per hour is there, and only 3 hours is a balancing figure. Can I say we can find out? Very easily, sir. So what we will do is we will assume this to be x into 2 per hour into 30,000 equal to 1,80,000. Sir, x will be 1,80,000 divided by this, which is what, sir? 60,000 equal to 3 hours. Hey, samjhugudu, are you clear, everybody? Yes or no? Now connect this to our question. We know the total labor cost available for variable and labor overhead. We know the total cost available for labor and variable overhead. How much is that? So we know total cost for labor and variable overhead equal to rupees 5,10,000. Do we know this? Yes, sir. We also know the rate per hour to be paid. Total hours per unit we don't know, but we know the rate per hour. So we also know the rate per hour. We also know the rate per hour is how much. So we will say that the rate per hour is, for labor it is rupees 3 per hour, plus for labor we have to give them a bonus of increase by rupees 3. Hourly rate is to be increased by rupees 3. So rupees 3 per hour hourly rate to be increased. So this is for labor as well. Plus for variable overhead we have rupees 2 per hour. So here we will say rupees 2 per hour. So can I say, this is for variable overhead, can I say rate per hour is equal to rupees 8 in all for labor plus variable overhead? Correct? Okay. Do we know the number of units? Yes, sir. So number of units is equal to, sir, 30,000 units. Number of units is equal to 30,000 units. So applying the example that we just understood, what is that? That is hours per unit, which we don't know, multiply by what is this, rupees 2. Can I say it is rate per hour? It is rate per hour. Multiply by rate per hour, multiply by number of units, is equal to total variable plus labor cost. Correct? We know the rate per hour is rupees 8, that we have calculated here. So 8 per hour into, we know the number of units is equal to 30,000. We know the total cost available with us is 5,10,000. So therefore hours per unit is equal to 2.125. So therefore hours per unit is equal to 2.125 hours. So 5,10,000 divided by 2,40,000. So if 2 point, if the workers are able to work and produce the same unit in 2.125 hours per unit, then bingo, we will be able to reach to our desired profit of rupees 3 lakh. Because if we use 2.125 hours, multiply that by rupees 8 per hour, multiply that by 30,000, the total cost which is allowable for labor and variable overhead rupees 5,10,000 is achieved, and we will be able to reach to our desired destination. Are we clear? Wasn't it interesting and amazing? Great. Please, everybody, this stage is all yours. You can again re-listen to the lecture if you are confused anywhere, but I have tried my best to make a note of everything in such a minuscule manner so that everything falls in place. Giving you all 2 minutes, you can write it down, or I will share this with you as well, and then things would look great. Please, everybody. Yes, come on. If you're liking the lectures and things are getting interesting, let me know through the comments so that I'll keep on taking more such sums which wherein we are able to brainstorm and get so much. Please, everyone. Okay. So I hope we are done. What a fantastic sum, right? Bingo, yeah. Chalo. So here it is. Calculate the target production time per unit and time to be reduced per unit. So I hope we are clear with this part. Second, identify the other problems that may arise in production due to decrease in unit production time and suggest remedial actions to be taken. Now see, what happens in target costing is that very important is the designing level. Now if your designing stage is not clear, then in that case you will never be able to come to a proper target cost. Now think of an example like an Apple iPhone or any such mobile phone or products, right? So if an Apple iPhones or iPad, all of these, their design is not finalized, till that time you will not be able to find out that how much is the material to be used, what is the labor that will go into that designing, what is the variable overheads to be incurred, correct? So design phase plays a very important role. Now if you are pressurizing the team that no, complete it fast, then in that case what they may do is they may compromise on the design, and at times we may try to get a design which is superior to what we are doing, but because of this time pressure it is possible that we may not be able to reach to the desired conclusion. So therefore this is a problematic thing, that if you are pressurizing us for the time duration, then target costing may not work as desired, because then we are ignoring the designing aspects and just focusing on the cost aspects, which is not the end intent of target costing. So remedial actions would be, designing should always go on concurrent basis, on regular basis, and if any possibilities are there, improve design and then reduce the time and the cost. That is what should be undertaken. Let's read their point. So ICAI says the target costing method is applicable for repetitive manufacturing. Agreed. It should be recognized that some products often bear a high degree of repetition, and therefore there are often considerable repetitions where reduction targets could come into play as a framework for improving the design. So when you are doing a particular product, when you are making it repetitively, there will be a scope of improving the design. But now you have pressured the laborer. No, we don't. We just want quickly make the units. So that may go against what we want. So working under pressure to finish new design assignments in a very short time may take development resources away from the efforts to optimize or re-engineer production process. If approaching product design as an activity to be optimized independently, there is a risk that target costing may not succeed to satisfactorily addressing overall performance. So in short, decrease in unit production time may lead to unwanted pressure on design and its implementation stage, is what I explained. Remedial measure: companies should retain strong control over design teams headed by a good team leader. This person must have an exceptional knowledge of the design process, good interpersonal skills, commitment to staying within both time and cost budgets for design project. So we should have a proper team, a project manager who would take care of all of this for a design project, interpersonal skills, commitment to ensuring he should understand the product, all of that. If the time is too short, even an organization may reject a project for the time being. Later, it can be tried out with new cost reduction methods, less expensive materials to achieve target cost and overall production activities. So, fairly simple points understood by us. Third point is state the most suitable situation for adoption of target costing. Now, this according to me is not a valid question. Every situation can be a situation wherein we can apply our thought process and help in target costing methodology. Why to restrict? Let's see what they have said. They are again going to speak more and more about the design phase. Let's see. Target costing is most useful in situations where majority of the product costs are locked in during the design phase. Okay, let's understand their point. This is the case for most manufactured products, but few services. In the service area, such as consulting, in consulting, designing is not a major thing, right? The bulk of all activities can be reconfigured for cost reduction during production phase, which is when services are being provided directly to the customer. In the services environment, the design team is still present but is more commonly concerned with streamlining, operationalizing the activities conducted by the employees providing the service, which can continue to be enhanced at any time, not just when initial services is being laid out. So I'm not really convinced with ICAI's answer. I'll give you my suggestion. So see, it can be used in a majority of manufacturing industry. There has to be a proper value chain, and in that value chain you will have to identify various activities. Correct. See what upstream activities are there, downstream activities are there, identify them, and then give your suggestions as regards design, as regards production, as regards its implementation, that what better processes can be undertaken. So that's how things should work. And with this, we complete this question. I hope you are clear and absolutely enjoying the sessions. With this, done and dusted. Let's move on to something new next. Okay, then moving on to the next questioner. Woo! VLM is the name of the question. Let's start. Okay, so VLM manufactures multicolor glow bulbs MCG 10, okay, used for lighting and decoration. MCG 10 considered as a reliable product in the market due to zero defect. Oh, very nice. So our bulb has zero defect. VLW sells MCG10 through retail chains and individual shopkeeper apart from factory outlet. MCG10 has demand throughout the year, but there is high demand during festival season, especially ahead of Diwali. Company follows the lot purchase system and manufactures the product ahead of peak season of festivals. But obvious. Now, if a festival is approaching, then in that case, what you can do is purchase it in bulk and then make it and then sell it to the retail customers. That's very much obvious. Correct. Presently, VLW is working at 80% of capacity to manufacture 4 lakh bulbs annually. So, the numerical part, always we will start writing. So, current production process is what? Current production is at the rate 80%, 4 lakh bulbs are being made annually. 4 lakh bulbs are being made annually. Subjugadu. Okay, continuing. Particulars. Direct material is variable. Direct labor, variable. Factory overhead, engineering cost, some is fixed. Machining is fixed. Inspection is variable. Admin fixed. Selling and distribution fixed. 12. Total cost is working out to rupees 72. How much? 72. Recently, the competition in decorative lights and electronic markets has escalated due to goods imported from Chinese manufacturers at cheap rates. Such imported light bulbs are also sold through same shops at which MCG10 is available for sale. Due to cheaper in rate, customer prefer imported light bulb rather than MCG10. And this paragraph sums up what we as Indians are doing for the last few years, including you and me as well. So what we do, we go to a shop, we see that there is the China made bulb is there, which is very cheap. We pick it up and we use it. Hardly it runs for 2-3 days and it's gone. China made. And in that, what has happened is that Indian manufacturers have suffered a lot. So that's what they are trying to say. So the China is highly competing with us on basis of cost, on basis of price. Let's see what we can do to be competitive in market. The marketing department of VLW conducted applied research and suggested that price should be 12.5% lower than the current price. Oh gosh. VLV during the last 3 financial years and during current year records the pre-tax profit at the rate 10% rate of sale. Okay. Management of VLV wishes to earn the same rate of profit margin in upcoming years also. Okay. So let now see here. What all information we have, let's write it down. What is the total cost that we are incurring currently? So can I say total cost is equal to rupees 70, including all total cost. So this includes your fixed plus variable. Okay. Why am I taking this? Because the rate of pre-tax 10% is also given here. So what they have said is pre-tax profit at the rate 10% rate of sale. 10% rate of sale is your profit. So if I say total cost plus profit, can I say will give us sale? Will give us sale. They are saying that, sir, please keep 10 rupees as profit on sale. So if it is on sale, let sale be 100, and therefore my total cost here has to be taken. Remember, if profit is there and sale is there, then always take the total cost. Always take the total cost. So here we will simply cross multiply and we will get the selling price per unit. The magic of making a summary. The magic of making a summary. Samjhi Guru? Okay, got it. See, again I'm telling you, they have said pre-tax profit at the rate 10% on sale. So 10% on sale means profit is 10. On sale, let sale be 100. Correct? So we have the total cost at 72 given in the question. We will get the selling price. Okay. Production and operation manager is of the opinion. So see, marketing manager has given his idea that selling price should be reduced by 12.5%. Okay. Now let's see what my production and operation managers are saying. Who are my cost managers? Production and operation manager is of the opinion that cost reduction in order to be competitive in market may result in reduction in quality. Whereas manager quality control suggests if number of inspection staff increased, then inspection can be performed at each stage and defect can be curtailed at the earliest stage to at least eliminate the rework cost. Fair enough. Management accountant is of the opinion that MCG10 is a matured product. Hence, majority of costs associated in production are committed in nature. As in, we've already applied majority of the things which are possible. Price cutting seems difficult. It may hit the top line and bottom line adversely. I hope now you are very much clear with what a top line is and what a bottom line is. Please read Economic Times so you will get acquainted with these words. Top line means your, you can say, trading P&L or your sales figure, your revenue. That is called as your top line. Whereas bottom line is your net profit. Right? So we have made a T type P&L account. Top line. What do you write in top? By sales. Bottom line. What do you write last? To net profit. Perfect? Okay. Price cutting seems difficult. It may hit the top line and bottom line adversely. In response to him, chief engineer suggests product MCG10 can be redesigned. This is a good idea. But marketing manager shows his resistance on the suggestion of redesigning because according to him, existing product appearance and features are key reasons for popularity of the product in the market and leads to sale. So obviously there is a difference of opinion between the marketing manager, production and materials manager, operations manager, right? Let's see what is their required part. Calculate the price suggested by marketing department. Already ready. It is already ready, sir. 80 rupees is my selling price. 80 minus 12.5%. Can I say rupees 70 is my new selling price as per marketing department. Right, okay. Simple, first part. Second, compute the target cost and new margin. Appraise percentage decline in margin. Okay, I'll explain that to you. If proportionate cost reduction plan is applied, cost reduction plan, what is this? I'll explain. If proportionate cost reduction plan is applied, then calculate the planned cost reduction for each cost category. Okay, explain proportionate cost reduction plan. I'll explain. Based upon discussion taken place among the functional manager, evaluate the possibility of cost reduction in order to analyze the possibility of application of target costing. Also suggest course of action to adopt. Okay, nice part. So what you have to do first, read the question and please make this summary what I have already made. First, read the question, start. Take 2 minutes. Okay, so now let's start. So first part is done. Did you realize first part is done? Now you may say that, sir, presentation wise will this work? See, presentation will have to do a little better, but for now my intent is more on the understanding, making you understand the concept part. So I hope which is done. Let's move on and let's see how things work up. Second part, let's move on to the second part. Just a moment. करता दिखा दूं तेनू बुर्ज खलीफा, तेनू बुर्ज खलीफा, तेनू बुर्ज खलीफा. Okay, let's move on to the second part of the question. Compute the target cost and new margin. Appraise percentage decline in margin. So now we have to compute the target cost. See here. Now, what is my new selling price? What is my new selling price? Can I say, sir, new selling price is rupees 70? Can I say my new selling price is rupees 70? Sir, how did you get this 70? So 80 was our original minus 12.5% reduction. So 70 is my new selling price, correct? Okay. What is my margin on sale? What is my margin on sale? Sir, it is 10% of selling price. So can I say this is 7? Yes, sir. So can I say this will become 63? Total cost will become 63. Samjhugudu? Yes, sir. Okay. So this becomes my new target cost. This becomes my new target cost. Target cost. This is my new target selling price. Margin is obviously, we know it is freeze. Now, what was my original margin? What was my original margin in terms of amount? Can I say rupees 8? What is my new margin? What is my new margin? Can I say rupees 7? So what is the change in margin? What is the change in margin? Can I say change in margin is rupees 1? Can I say change in margin is rupees 1? Yes, everybody. So what has been the change? Percentage change in margin. What has that been? See, always remember, percentage change in margin. If any percentage change is required, always take the base as what it was originally and what has been the change, which is rupees 1. So 1 divided by 8 into 100%. Tell me, works out to how much? Can I say 12.5%? 12.5% is the reduction in the margin percentage. So appraise percentage decline in margin. Percentage decline in margin is 12.5%. This is what the second part says. You would want to write it down? All yours. Please, everyone. Got it? So again, I'm repeating. Target selling price was 70. Just a moment. Target selling price now is 70. How did we get it? Here it is. So target selling price is 70, which has now a margin of 10% of selling price. So my new target cost is 63. Correct? So can I say new margin is 7? Original margin was 8. What is the change in margin? 1 on a base of 8 original margin. So 12.5% is the reduction from my original margin. From my original margin. Samjhugudu. Are we clear, everybody? Yes? Done? Okay. Let's move on to the next part. Okay. If proportionate cost reduction plan is applied, you will ask me, sir, what is proportionate cost plan? Cost reduction plan. You will ask me, what is proportionate cost reduction plan. So what happens here is, in this plan, cost of all elements is reduced. Cost of all elements is reduced. Cost of all elements is reduced in proportion to the weights. In proportion to the weights. In proportion to the weights. So you will ask me, sir, how does it apply? And there, no. First, write down the cost of all the elements of cost. So what are they? So direct material is there. Direct labor is there. Then engineering cost, machining cost, inspection cost, engineering cost, machining cost, inspection cost, admin overhead, S&D overhead, admin, S&D, all the costs have been taken care of. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Let's write down. So we will say this is my total cost. Okay. What is my direct material cost? 22. Okay. This is 6. Okay. 1055. 1055. 1212. Okay. Total cost works out to how much? Tell me. Already given in the question, sir. 72. Already given in the question, sir. 72. Okay. Now, what is the new cost? What is the new cost? Sir, can I say my new cost is 63? My new cost is 63. So we will write here new cost. What is the new cost? Bolo, tell. Arey bolo, tell. Sir, it is 63. 63. Now, so if direct material, in case of direct material, when the total cost is 72, my individual, when total cost is 72, direct material cost is 22. So if my overall cost is reduced to 63, how much will be the direct material cost? Bolo, tell. Simple cross multiply. So 63 multiplied by 22 divide by 72, which is 19.25. Correct? So 72 by 63, you can just do a m plus of that and then keep on multiplying it by all which is available and things will become easier. Simple. So one more. Chalo, let's try one more. Let's try for say this machining cost. So for machining cost, if for machining cost, total cost is there and machining cost is there. Machining cost say is when 72 machining cost is 5. So when it is 63, tell me what it is going to be. So same 72 by 63 is already there in my calci. Multiply by 5. So sorry, 63 divided by 72 is already there in my calci. Multiply by 5. So 4.375. Woohoo! This is how we have to solve for everything. So we will have to show the working for all? No. Show it for any two and then you can directly write it using your calculators, because now at least the examiner is aware what exactly is your cost. So now direct labor will be 5.25. Engineering cost will be 8.75, machining cost 4.375. Same is the case here. Admin 10.5, same 10.5. Do the total, you will get 63. Here is your proportionate cost reduction plan and its calculation. Done. We can see ECAI's answer for this proportionate reduction plan, almost similar, but they've explained it in much more detail. Let's see that. So see, the answer that we want is here. Under proportionate plan, cost reduction plan, for each category is proportionally reduced in proportion of existing weight. Your assumption is needed to be taken that all costs are avoidable in nature. Yes. And second thing is that every cost is changing proportionately. Here a proportion is needed to taken all costs are avoidable in nature, whereas in case of every business, there are some of cost category which are in true sense unavoidable and committed in such a way that these continue to occur even in shutdown situation. So if there is a cost which is going to occur irrespective of anything, then you cannot proportionately reduce it. So that we'll have to identify, that the question will tell you specifically that whether it is committed, not committed. If it is committed and it is unavoidable, then you cannot proportionally reduce it. Simple. That's the point that they're trying to make. And the last point of the question, and with this we will be done with this question and the session. Let's see. Based upon discussion taken place among functional managers, evaluate the possibility of cost reduction in order to analyze the possibility of application of target costing. So here we will have to analyze for every manager first. So marketing manager has said that reduce the selling price. So we can reduce the selling price, but then we will have to proportionately also ensure that our costs are reduced. So we may have to incur a lot of things like value engineering, cost reduction processes. Also, some other suggestions were also given by other managers. Let's see. Production and operation manager wanted that that cost reduction in order to be competitive may result in reduction in quality. So they want to ensure that quality is kept intact. So that is also a fair point. Quality control manager suggests that so what we can do is, how do we can keep the quality intact? They have said, if number of inspection staff is increased, then the inspection can be performed at each stage and defect can be curtailed at the earlier stage to estimate rework cost. So this is what is the most important point according to me, that quality should be kept, inspection processes should be improved, and if there is any defect, it should be found out at source itself and it should be recovered and cleared. Got it? Now then, management accountant is of the opinion that since MCG10 is a mature product, hence majority of cost associated here is committed in nature, so price cutting according to him looks difficult, but still we will have to make some efforts as well. So just going on through here, target costing now comprises of 4 stages. First is you set the target price. So that's what we did here. First we set the target price. Then based on that we will get the target cost, which is also done. Then third phase is where we will analyze the design, what are the cost reduction scopes, value engineering, value analysis. So we are at the third stage, right? And at the fourth stage is the final implementation. So let's see here. First stage, determine the product target price, done. Target price, quality, functionality. Second, target cost. Third, design the product and production process to achieve target costing. This is where we are. And fourth is use pilot project to evaluate feasibility. Based on the discussion, it is evident that we are towards the third stage. See, they have written towards the third stage. Now, as stated by management accountant, that product MCG10 is mature and mature nature, hence majority costs are of committed nature, hence may be unavoidable in nature. Product is material oriented. Yes, see now, that this is a very good point. This is a material oriented product. Why? Because 30% of your total cost, 30% of your total cost is a direct material cost. So we may have a gain sharing arrangement with our supplier. You have studied gain sharing arrangement? If not, watch my revision lectures. Gain sharing arrangement happens between suppliers, wherein we are, the supplier invests in our equity and is like a partner to us. So we will say that we can make them, if a gain sharing arrangement can be entered with vendor, then surely VLW can save some portion of material cost. As said by production and operation manager, cost reduction may lead to compromise with quality. So therefore, we may shift to JIT, we may have better suppliers, we may increase our inspection process. All of that will be required. Quality or manager is of the opinion that extra inspection, quality can be assured, so that line can be written. TQM can be implemented, Kaizen costing, value analysis, value engineering, put everything. Chief engineering is appreciable because target costing is most beneficial in those cases where product is in designing and planning stage. As per research, around 70 to 80% cost of is committed at designing stage itself. Okay, so it is important to note the word committed is not used as not incurred. Committed means a cost which we feel is going to be incurred. Okay, redesigning is not feasible according to the marketing manager because he feels that the current product is liked by the customers. If you redesign, then who knows how the customer is going to react. Conflicting opinions. Marketing manager can conduct a research to develop understanding of temperament of customer, whether they are price sensitive or confirmation to need is their priority. If customer found price sensitive, then price should be reduced by 12.5%. If not, then product redesigning can also be done. So all of that point is written here, right? So if there are possibility to reduce the cost, even if not in all cost category, then surely in some categories, so that target cost can be and should be achieved. Okay, so with this we complete this question. Done and dusted. Woohoo! Are we clear, everybody? Should be. Okay, with this we complete today's session as well. Constructive sessions, and slowly and steadily we are completing everything. And now, woohoo, we are going to work up on the case studies as well. So are you excited? I am really excited. So let's keep smiling. Let's keep doing it as we are going in the great spirit. Thank you so much. Hasta la vista. Take care.